Okay, so here's a video for Beastman from the modern version and releases of Masters of the Universe. Um, Another great one. Sometimes you get figures don't always come with a lot of accessories. Like his is only this little whip here, and it's actually made out of plastic, but it's so pliable that it actually does work like a whip. You can almost hear how heavy this guy is just from that bump. So anyways, I was just going to say that I think sometimes we get figures and they don't have very many accessories, but I kind of, in my own justification, see that the size of Beastman is kind of an accessory in itself, um, just because he's so big and he's so heavy, and that was the great thing that I think the Four Horsemen did is they were able to put so many different sizes, whether strong and muscular or um, lean or, like details for the legs. I mean, just the fact that they were able to put so much into this line to make them look so much different. I mean, in the 80s, again, I'm not a big fan of the 80s, so I don't, you know, mean to tag it as not cool because I'm sure for what it was at the time, it was, pretty cool. And I had at least Skeletor that I know of. And, when you don't know that this is what it's going to look like, it was cool at the time. But, so yeah, just the detail on him. He's got claws there. You can almost make out the toes individually and the nails. And I also like the fact that even though he's a little orange here, he doesn't come off at all cheesy like I think the 80s figure did. And I don't think the original figure had these horn type things where they kind of look like stone, or not really sure what those are supposed to be. Um, let's see. I think he's got the little arm gauntlets right there. He had the same feature as the rest of the He-Man and Skeletors, pretty much every He-Man and every Skeletor, in that you have this little switch in the back, and it's supposed to be just his whip, but again, I don't think there's any way to, unless you hold this one down. It's supposed to be just him whipping. Whipping, is that even a word? And is he gonna do it? Okay, yeah. So there it is. That's him using his whip. I think what pretty much makes it whether or not it works is you have to have the hands positioned in a certain way first, and then it does it. Otherwise, he hits his lower thigh right there, and so you kind of have to lift up the hand and then do it, I guess. Then it gets stuck. But anyway, I think you get the idea. Again, just like with Triclops, even though he does have a loincloth on, they've extended it so it's not just the furry, fuzzy underwear or whatever, so that's pretty cool. Not really sure how I feel about his hand here, because the gimmick that I read about is that he's supposed to be whipping here or doing like a double hand, like, whack, on your shoulders or whatever, or maybe you put a figure up here and then you can throw it or whatever. So it works, but again, I'm always fighting, because I understand people that like sculpt, but at the same time, you can't put this whip in this hand. You can't put a sword in that hand. So it's kind of, back and forth. This sculpt looks cool, but then you can't really use the accessories. Um, but even his back, I mean, you can see that detail right there. So he's just a big, strong, muscular, scary-looking figure. And even with his face paint or war paint or whatever, again, it doesn't look cheesy. Yeah, if this was a real creature, I think anybody would be, get me out of here. Um, so yeah, and then with how big he is he doesn't really look that odd with the classics. But I know they've released Beastman classics by now, so you don't really have to worry about that if you were able to get him. But so anyway, there's a video showing off Beastman from the modern series of Masters of the Universe. Thanks for watching.